instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells!
Hello and welcome to this week's Gull'S Eye View. We've had to do a quick impromptu episode because of schedules this week after the game. Very rare. That's the first time I think all season we've done it straight after a game, isn't it? So there we are. I'm joined by Rachel and Tom, possibly Clive, but his second team Leeds have just got promoted. So I've said, Clive, you can enjoy that for a bit. I'm not going to make you talk about Torquay for a minute. And it's been a long day for a Torquay fan, hasn't it? But a very good day. Many emotions, hasn't it? So many positive ones. But so much pride in the football club today. But it's the only time I think a few of us will walk away from a 3-0 win where we've played excellently and going, kind of a bit disappointed in ways. But that's just the context of this amazing season. But we've done our job. I'm still very positive, but we'll go more into that. Right. We'll start off from, let's just talk about the actual match day. How amazing is that? 5,500 people in Plainmoor, basically full. Just where I've done a lot this week, actually. I mean, listen to a few podcasts today, football ones, and talking about more the business side of it and getting that balance. So look, football results are the main thing still, but from that point of view, that doesn't that just sum up what it's done to the community. Rachel, we start with the Bryn Consortium. Isn't that just amazing?
Fantastic. Yeah, no, I sort of had one of those moments where I was sort of just looking around and just having a reflective sort of Zen moment of wow, this is the football club that I've adopted. I moved down here 26 years ago. This is Torquay United. Look where we are. You know, I've supported them through some pretty shocking, pretty low times, but it did feel good today. You know, sort of milling around in the concourse. That there was queues for the refreshments, queues for the loos, queues for people to get up to the Gull'S nest via the family stand. But nobody was sort of moaning or anything. Everybody was on everyone was buzzing. It was just a really feel good vibrations, which was playing actually when I walked in the ground for the Beach Boys, and it was good vibrations. It was a really great atmosphere, full of smiles, kids as well. There was there was a young under sevens, I think. I can't remember what football team they were. They were milling around and they had a trophy there and they were all smiles, really excitedly waiting to go on the pitch. And it felt so good today. It really did.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, what a day. Tom, anything else to add?
Yeah, so, it's been, as you know, guys, an emotional week and weekend for me, but it just made me proud that this is the football club that I follow. It's just been I always reflect on 12 months ago where we were in a relegation battle, nearly didn't have a football club, and to have 5,500 in a title fight, still in a promotion push. I think it's just incredible work all round. If you'd have offered me this before a ball was kicked at the start of the season, I would have grabbed your hands off it. Just to be in the playoffs was always my remit. So to be still in with a fight and only a couple of goals away from, winning the league, it's just incredible. And I think everyone from the Bryn Consortium to the supporters, the volunteers, everyone, pat on the back, you guys, because it's been a roller coaster the last 12 months and got into the pop side nice and early. I mean, it was already quite busy when I was in there about 20 to 2 and just reflective and just a fantastic day. And I was a little bit concerned because I had kind of flashbacks. Do you remember the Barnet game in 21?
Yeah, and also the Crew game as well.
I almost kind of had those vibes like we need goals, but we've got to be able to get the job done. And thankfully we did, and we'll go into that in a minute. But from a Torquay perspective, it's great to have the community back together. It's great to have this great football club positively going in the right direction. And ultimately, for the game, we got the job done in the end, didn't we? It was rather comfortable. And we live to fight another day.
Yeah, we'll go through the game. So, Clive, what a football day you've had, a football few hours for you. Well done to Leeds as well, as we were saying.
Dirty Leeds back in the Prem. Come on, boys.
It reminds me of a year ago with Leicester, and that's gone well, isn't it? If we go to it, Leicester for Leeds.
Yeah, I think as long as Leeds spend £500 million and take the points deduction, they'll be absolutely fine, won't they?
Talkie podcast. Come on.
Looking at the league table, it ain't in the shape that we'd really want it to be, is it? Let's be honest. We are level on points with Truro, but they are 2 goals better off. They play a relegation threatened team next Saturday at home. We've got
something to play for.
We've got to go to Hemel Hempstead. We've basically got to go and get a big win at Hemel Hempstead and hope the rest of it goes for us, haven't we? The odds are that it ain't going to happen next week. I echo everything that you've said, Tom. It's been a really good season, and it's been a season that's seen the rejuvenation of the club. But ultimately, that's a game today where we did okay. We won 3-0, but there was a 6-0 on the table there, wasn't there? Really. And it could be looking different. That league table's still mad. You can still go down feasibly to Boreham Wood.
That's why we've still got to get the job done. We have to go. No funny business.
Boreham Wood are 5th. Boreham Wood are 5th, but they're 3 points off the lead, and they've got the best goal difference of the
league. And we can have a good goal difference as well.
Yeah. The teams in 5th and 6th have got better goal differences than the teams at the top. It's a strange one to play for. It's just mental.
It's absolutely crazy. And this is the thing, just go and get the job done next week. I know what's going to be on our minds, but just get the job done and hope for the best.
I hoped we were going to do that today, to be honest. So I know it was a good performance.
We did a good job with it. Still got 3.
We got 3. Yeah, I know. And we don't score 3 goals very often, do we? We've proved that we're not a high scoring sort of kind of team. But I did. You know, I don't want to bring the mood down, but I just there was an opportunity missed a little bit. But then who's to say? You know, there were chances missed.
We created enough to score.
I was just going to say, it's not as if first half we didn't create particularly much, but I thought the second half, we did. If we'd have taken at least 2 of those chances, but I am a little bit sort of crestfallen for just it being 3-0, because I did think, you know, we could have at least hit the 4-0 mark, because I don't think they were ever really likely. We were never really going to concede today, were we?
No, but it wasn't for the knackered trying, was it?
No, I know. But then we've got to go next Saturday.
Play like that next Saturday, and we've got all the chance.
It's going to be like the Alamo, isn't it? And we're not the kind of Alamo kind of football team. But anyway, 3-0. 3-0 is a good result. You know,
if you lose a league on goal difference, it's just how it. Yeah, and it won't be because of like today we haven't scored 4 or 5. It's just over the course of the season, isn't it? But
true.
Yeah, we did our job today. We did our job professionally as well. But that's the thing you've got to bear in mind is that one thing I will say, and Paul will know this, and everyone will know this, is don't get too high or low over it. You know, I want the players to walk away very happy that they've won 3-0. You know, next week if we win or whatever happens and we don't win the title, I don't want that. You know, like into the playoffs, we were a bit hungover from it. Just no, okay, that's fine. Didn't quite. We've done well. Just see, there's another 2 or 3 games depending on where we finish. You know, it's important that the players and all that don't get too. We can feel a bit flat that we've only won 3-0, but it's important the players just know they've done a good job today.
And all said and
done, it's a big game in its own right, isn't it? Sorry, Rach. Saturday's a big game in its own right, because if we win next week, probably Truro is still going to win the league, but the worst that can happen to us is we're second, and as we know, that's home playoffs all the way.
Yeah.
So
just do the job, get the job done.
Go and get the win. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't put too much pressure. Yeah,
that's all they can do. We're on a good run of form. We're on a good run of form. I will shut up in a minute. Sorry, but you know, in the mini league, amongst the top 7, top 8 clubs in the league, we're way ahead. We've got winning records, I think, against everybody. So they fear us. We needn't fear anybody. I must say that I suspect Jordan Dyer is going to be a very significant doubt, and that will be a loss. That's going to weaken us quite a bit. But we're on good form. We're not conceding a lot of goals, and we may well have enough. We may well have enough still to do it. So we do need to stay positive.
The big thing is as well that I think people are forgetting a little bit is that Worthing drew. If I was going to Hammer with 1 point behind, you know, there's still a chance that even if Truro win it, we can win the league. This thing is still slightly is within our hands. So I was actually quite positive of those results. That Churo's second goal was a bit of a killer, wasn't it? But fair play to them. That was a huge result for them today.
All the pressure's on them. All the pressure is on Truro.
Yeah,
it's all down to them. Look, at the end of the day, this division has proved if you're top of that division, you don't stay there for very long. It seems to be a bit of a poison chalice being at the top. So maybe all we've got to do is it's just another game of football, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's just another game of football.
Be playoffs, but whoever wins it deserves it. Truro done brilliantly this season, and football's such a highs and lows. 1 minute you're down there, next minute you're up there. I felt that when we beat them on Friday, it was like, well, they'll bounce back. I'm pretty sure. So it's just how football goes. And St Albans, right, we need conversations. St Albans have been the only team that have got apart from Chesham actually, they've got the raft of me after their late tackles again in that game in October. I will be a big fan of you, St Albans, and a lot of Torquay fans will be next week. I wish you all the best on Saturday. That's what I'm saying. I have nothing bad to say against how you play against us on October and the fouls you committed. So what a fan of that club I am. But seriously, St Albans, they were predicted near the top at the start. It's been quite a shock to see where they are, and they'll be well up for it. Salisbury have been that team that have just dropped, and St Albans have been on that team.
The only thing is with St Albans, if Amy hadn't let one in, he should have saved after 5 minutes, and Cookie hadn't bounced that one on my crossbar, we'd have won that game. I mean, that was like a shooting gallery, wasn't it? Second half at St Albans. How we didn't win that game is beyond me.
And this is the thing, I think, going into just football in general. You think of the amount of annoying results in everyone's season and ours as well, and we're still where we are. That's how well we've done. That's just how football goes. It is a great league, but it's also a very inconsistent league, and there have been those moments. But at the end of the day, you can't change them. May the best team win it, and but let's go speak a bit more about the game today. Actually, I thought, as I say, to get that goal, I mean, the marking is atrocious. Woeful. You would be fuming if you're a Weymouth manager.
Our first goal, yeah.
Ridiculous. And Dyer had all the space. We still did it right. And then I think it was just the injury to Dyer and a few things slowed us down in the first half, didn't it? But I also want to think, actually, very good move by Paul Watson. Start 4-3-3 and then to switch it to a 4-2-3-1. That's the beauty of that formation. Putting Moose on the left, which actually worked really well, and Jay in the 10 and Youngster on the right. Everyone did their jobs brilliantly today. This is one thing it can't be. It's literally everyone, even if whether from the back line, like Hammond in goal, just his distribution was fantastic and all stuff like that. Little things like that was huge. Everyone did their jobs. But for me, it was the midfield actually, Musa, Hayfield, and Bastani that gets the most praise from me. So,
that's a good point actually, and I've noticed that in the last few games actually. Because that was a criticism for me for James Hammond, his contribution, slowing the game down, holding onto the ball too long. The last few games, he doesn't hang about, does he? His throwouts are great. You compare his goal kicks to the Buse lad in the Weymouth goal. They were going out every time, weren't they? But he has been quality. Hammond hasn't he? Certainly over the last.
He's still had a great season, a very good season, in my opinion.
He's an ever present, and he fully deserved that. He had the trophy, didn't have the tust.
The other goalie had no arms, Rach. I mean, he's not on competition in the squad, is he?
T-Rex boost.
Yeah. I mean, the avenue in that first half, it looked like we were going to score from every corner we took. I mean, the marking, as we said, for that first one is absolutely.
And they've had a few more as well.
It's awful, and it's no surprise why they've been relegated if they're defending like that on a weekly basis. But
it's weird with Weymouth. When we saw them on Boxing Day, you thought, there might be something out. They're a long way adrift. Yeah. And then, obviously, they set up, apart from the set pieces, they set up well, but they didn't like it when we ran at them at all. No, it was like that, wasn't it?
But we took control in that first half. Right from the off, we were in full control. And to get the early goal was key for me as well, because how many times have teams come to play more, sat back, and we've struggled to break them down. It's kind of been the story of the season, really, against teams in the bottom half. But no disrespect to Weymouth, but they look like a really poor team, and it's no surprise if they play like that they've gone down. But no, we were dangerous. I mean, the set pieces, especially. I mean, we had a goal disallowed for a foul on the keeper for soon after the first goal. Was it Dyer, I think, or someone? But yeah, we just kept at it, and it was disappointing to only be a goal up at half time. I think the injury to Dyer slowed everything down a bit. We looked a little bit lethargic, a bit slow. but Weymouth were more than willing to give us all the space in the world we needed. There was
so much space.
Yeah, I had no doubt that we were going to score again, but it would have been nice to have got a second just before halftime. Like, just naturally got the chance for Weymouth to get together and kind of slow the game down a bit, and we seemed content to go in at 1-0. But hey ho, we regrouped and got some 2 key goals quite quickly in the second half, didn't we?
Yeah,
I noticed Dan Hayfield had a lot of the ball today, didn't he? A lot of possession, and he did a lot of good with it. But Dan Hayfield's got a hell of a shot on him, hasn't he? I mean, we've seen some of his set pieces earlier in the season. He was kind of like the set piece man, wasn't he? I'm surprised he doesn't have a crack on goal a few more times. There was a few times when he was running centrally right through, and I'm thinking he's going to have a shot here, and he stops and passes it to Thomas or to Folston. You know, I just wish there could have been again, you know, a little bit of a criticism. Just be a little bit more ruthless. You know, we're chasing goals today. We were in so many good positions. Hassani, he had a couple of decent, but Hassani would be quite central. Then he'd cut in, and again he'd ping it, you know, to the channels. I just think sometimes when you've got that much space and time, just flipping pepper that goal mouth.
I think Paul Watton picked up on that. So about long shots, yeah, they've been brilliant all week. Just a bit of long shot training, I think. For Hemel next week, get these keepers, or on that Hemel keeper walking off loan, he's probably earned his shift next week. So yeah, interesting, isn't it? Tori, you said in our chat a little bit about Hemel. You've got a Hemel supporting mate, didn't you? What his views were on their game today?
Evening, Dan, if you're watching. Hopefully I get to catch you next week. You know, they've lost to St Albans in their big derby. I don't think they had a lot up front to worry about. Up front, they are quite decent defensively by the sounds of it, but don't offer a lot up top. So I'm hoping they'll already be on their holidays. But thank you for not beating St Albans and at least giving them something to fight for. I'll always be appreciative of that. But
yeah, and don't fight next week.
To be honest, if we can't be going to St Albans, we've got Hemel on the last day and nothing to play for, and can't put in something there, then we don't deserve to win the division, quite frankly. But fantastic. It was just about us doing the job, and we've done it. Yes, we've scored 3 goals, but would have been nice to get a couple more. Missed a couple of sitters, didn't we? I mean, Dre had one where he headed straight at the goalie, and a few others where they were close. But it was just to get the second goal. And what I liked about the second goal, it was worked on the channel, ball into the box, nice little flick by Jay into the back of the net. They all went and got the ball and went to get, you know, put it back on the centre spot and get the game underway again. So and it kind of harboured back to that Barnet game I was talking about earlier, and when we had a chance for top spot and fighting Sutton, although we bottled that, didn't we, that day? But they just got the ball. They knew. That's what we
mustn't do next week as well.
They knew what the score was. We have to get goals, and it was great to see that.
But we're also professional. We're also professional. We didn't do what we did against Barnet. Didn't do what Liverpool did against Palace that time as well. You know. Also, I hope if we get 8, we can do like a Henry VIII with like Tudors and Hemel Hempstead pun somewhere as well. So yeah, no, it will be good. So that is the aim, and also we've seen it in the division today. God, what happened to your Hampton mates the other day, haven't they? Crikey.
I'd hate to be an Hampton fan tonight. That's
very good. Well, no, we've just got to do our job. We've just got to go and do our job. Believe, and more than anything, I don't know if everyone knows anything else. We had a Kelly's Corner. We had many things there to do to end it, but just everyone who's done so well. Like, it's such a proud day, you know. Such a proud day overall, isn't it?
Sort of exceeded expectations, hasn't it, this season? You know, from the beginning of the season, this kind of assembled squad from all over to where we are today. You know, it's been a hell of an achievement, hasn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely. Amazing. I think so.
No player. I think it's on 31 players overall. But we just had to players. One player who we couldn't use anyway to build to where we are now. And you look at the understanding of them on the pitch today. Like, everyone's know where they're going. Everyone, the runs, they're brilliant. Oh, it's just brilliant. Such a good job.
I thought Jordan Thomas had a great game today, by the way. I thought
he's really on form. He's really on form.
People were saying about who would your man of the match have been, but I was watching him, and he did. He was forced. Both the fullbacks played well today, didn't they?
Yeah,
running the channel,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Making the space really, and that's what you want.
Yeah. I'd be forlorn if we didn't mention Jay Folston's goal. Of course, Talkie Talk.
Oh, it's lovely.
Lovely to have this photo taken with him afterwards, part of the sponsor photo. So thanks, Jay. Thanks for all your kind words.
What a lovely gentleman he is. I spoke to
lovely top bloke.
The season.
Just glad to get him on the score sheet again. We just overrun him, didn't we, for that third goal? Lovely cross in by Jordan Young, and there he is. Sorted it into the bottom corner, and so you just got the 20 minutes to go. You just got the feeling we're going to score 4 or 5 here, and
there's going to be another wave, wasn't there? The final 5 minutes.
I just thought,
Jake and Davis won at the end, wasn't it?
I did say it at the time to a few people. I was like, "You watch. If we can get the second goal, then we're going to get a third, and then hopefully we'll get a couple more."
And the key thing is, we did get that second goal because there was a long time we thought, we're stuck at 1-0 here. So we did get the second and third goal at the end of the day. We have still done more than our job, in my opinion. It's just the course of the season means that we're still 2 goals behind at this stage. Anything left to add before we go into Kelly's corner? Go on, Clive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really it feels bad to moan at a team that's just won 3-0 and could still win the title. But
you are.
Yeah, I am good. Yeah, I am, because it overall, without criticising any individuals, it just feels like a wasted opportunity, because Weymouth have been relegated by 12 points. Their manager looked like he didn't want to be there. When's the last time you saw a manager turn up on a touchline in jumper and jeans?
He's wearing jeggings.
Far
too tight.
I just feel as though
his wife's
there were more goals there. They named 2 substitutes today. They weren't on the beach. They were on the bloody pedalo halfway out into the channel, weren't they? They were dreadful, and they could have been put to the sword more than they were.
Clive's echoing.
I have had a great season. I've had a great day today as well, because I was up in the Gull'S nest with. In fact, I wasn't. I was up in the Cove with the Dan
very posh
Society. Yeah, absolutely. We were wined and dined up there. We had the 2 co-chairs obviously get up and do their thing, and they thank us, and they explain that they're looking to run the club on a sustainable basis. You know, it isn't a benefactor model, it's a sustainable model. Everybody's way behind that, but it's 8:20 on a bank holiday Monday night, and I just feel as though we could have been top of the league tonight. And so I'm sorry, I am just disappointed.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And you can't take I can't take that away.
How I feel.
Come Saturday morning, I'll be on the train, and I'll be travelling in hope, if not in expectation. We've got a precedent for it as well, because Southend in 2004, it was actually in Huddersfield's hands that day, and they blew it at Cheltenham. And who knows what might happen in the depths of Cornwall on Saturday. Yes, it could still happen, but it could have been in our hands after today.
I think 1 goal difference, it feels 1 goal to 2 goals feels a lot different, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just feel as though, you know, I'm probably being greedy. I'm probably like an England fan who moans when they only beat Andorra 4-0. But it's just, do you know what I mean? I just feel as though it was there for us, and we didn't quite do enough today.
It's the PSG Villa first leg for me as well. That third goal killed it for Villa, in the same way that I just felt just that last 10 minutes wave where, Tom, you're saying you felt that maybe we're going to get another, or even maybe 2. We didn't, and it's frustrating, because, as Clive says, we would have been in a fantastic position if it had been 4-0, 5-0, and as it is, it's a chance lost, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Although,
and I know it's a season, it's all of the season. You go back to the Boreham Wood game, we were 2-0 up at half time. You know, we were playing really well, and then we let in 2. Well, what was it, 80 whatever minute, and didn't they score in the last second?
But this
that was
the point,
you know. So across the
we
season,
had the chance this season.
Like
we did have a chance to win the title, and we still do. Yeah. But if we win the playoffs, no, it's just that matter. If we don't get promoted this season, then we'll go again, and we'll be stronger next year. I'm sure we are, because we're building a model. But it's all going to be fine. We'll win it.
It is going to go. It is going to go to the last 5 minutes. Heck, it might even go to the last kick of the game. You just do not know. That is the joy of football. I just say embrace it. 12 months ago, we were in a relegation scrap and fighting for the existence of our football club. So, if we don't do it if we don't win the league and Truro do, or someone else does, then fair cop. That's what I say.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, we've got a team to be proud of. We've got owners to be proud of. And you know what? I think that trumps anything that we can do, you know, in terms of what division we're in next season. Of course, I'd love to be in the National League next season. But you know what? If it means another season at this level where potentially we have a chance to, you know, have a full summer, no, you know, owner or administrative issues aside, let's just build a team for the budget that we had for this season, and let's just go again. And that's the joy. And I think the Yellow Army will rally behind that. But you know what? We've still got a game. It is just another game of football, folks. It's just one more game of football. If we win it, then that's our bit done. And then we'll just see how the cards fall. But you know what? Keep the faith. We're going to have a huge backing at Hemel Hempstead. Let's just do our bit and let's see where we are. This is Torquay United. I've said this before. We don't do things easily. So it's all the pressure is on Truro. So if they do it, good luck to them. But hey, just focus on ourselves.
Well, he's playing the mind games.
That's it. Yeah.
No,
nothing Western.
Yeah, thanks, Western. Thanks.
Western Super Nightmare.
Thanks, Pearson. Yeah.
Thanks, Pearson. Thank you very much.
I suppose before we go into the corner, we should quickly mention the Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season awards, I suppose.
Yeah, deserved.
Player of the Season, Jordan Young. I think that's quite well deserved, to be fair. I think he's been the one that's, as soon as he signed for us, he gave us that extra little bit that we've been needing. And I think he's a well-deserved winner. I felt a bit sorry for Cody because I think to score 17 goals is a pretty good run as well at this season. But I don't think many would argue that Jordan.
I think it's just the increase as well as Cody Cook's been brilliant all season. But I think for me, when we signed Jordan Young, we just went from a very good, solid team who will probably get low end of the playoffs to a title contention winning team. You just took the whole squad up so many levels, and his goals to assists, like if you just look at the football on paper, like the slow stats are ridiculous. You know, for the time he came in October as well, didn't he? So to get player of the season, that he deserves it. He deserves it.
And I think there's no surprise that Sam Dreyer won Young Player of the Season. I think that was superb. And then no surprise to anyone, was it the Ian Twitchard Trophy went to James Hammond.
Yeah.
What was that? How many clean sheets now this season?
16 or 17 in the.
Oh, was it?
I think in the league it's 16 or 17. Harry Savage sent me a spreadsheet after for the game when I brought up on commentary about this sort of thing, you know, about Golden Glove. He's not winning it. I think 23 clean sheets is winning it, which is mad.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Alexandre Junior, fair play. So
he's got a couple of good centre halves in front of him, hasn't he?
That does also help massively. The whole unit's fantastic back there. But yeah.
I must say they were my two picks anyway, so I'm glad I got those right. So into the corner.
Okay, I'll say one final thing actually.
Go on then.
Calling up Torquay keepers. Worthing's goal they conceded to Dorking was a Coughlin mistake, I'm told.
I heard Coughlin went up in the last minute of the game for a corner to try and get a goal.
Yeah, well.
Never works, does it?
Never works. Still lose.
Into the corner. Thank you, everyone. Again, short notice this week, but lots of responses on Twitter. So I didn't get a chance to post it onto Facebook for our Facebook listeners, viewers, but hey ho. So we just asked your thoughts on the game and man of the match for this week. So we start with Paul Mahern, who had a bit of a nightmare, apparently Swanee in the comms box.
Basically, it didn't work until 10 seconds before it was stressed. So literally, we got it working 10 seconds before. And then it was like, oh, right, now we've got to get in the zone. And then it broke at the end. But we were on the mobile by the end of it. So it's like passing the phone to each other.
To be fair, it must be nervous working next to the GOAT of football commentary, Swanee.
That's for me, next Paul Mahern.
Yeah. So Paul Mahern says, I know he wasn't man of the match in the commentary box. He had an absolute nightmare. But for him, Falston, Musa and Hayfield played well. Young also at times and another couple of assists. A well-deserved win. Could have been more, but proud of the team and to be in this position.
Yeah.
There is D Trust who says, whatever happens this season, what a great day today really was. A great crowd and atmosphere. Our owner and Neil Warnock showing their appreciation and a good feeling at the club. Wow. Proud to be a yellow. I echo that 100%. Jamie, lovely to bump into you quickly in the hospitality at the end, mate. He says 2 games, 6 points, 2 clean sheets. Second on goal difference. Last game is going to be massive. See all of you beautiful yellows at Hemel Hempstead. Win, lose or draw, we've achieved so much. Love this club so much. Dom Roman, evening Dom. He says, well done to our sponsor player, Jay Folston. Great finish today and a really strong season from him. Overall, we've done very well to take it to the last day. Let's hope some Truro nerves kick in. Chris Wade, evening Chris. I'm dealing with some railway issues by the sounds of it. It seems like its signals have gone somewhere. Hayfield was very good in midfield. Musa also full of creativity again. A home semi-final is in our hands. And who knows what else. Joe from Off the Line blog, always lovely to hear from you, mate. He says frustration and pride. There is Ramon Golzario, who says the move for me with an honourable mention to Jay Folston. Worked his socks off, great offering the overlap and took his goal very well. Mel Beher says didn't create enough despite going a goal up early in the first half. We looked livelier in the second half. Thought Jordan Thomas had a really good game. Dan Hayfield driving forward too, but I agree with the sponsors. Musa had the touch and quality that stood out in the game. Ollie Ray, thank you for writing in again, mate. He says, so good and proud. And we've hopefully, well, he says 2,000. We've got 1,200 for Hemel. Going on Saturday, we are really in for a treat. His man of the match was Jordan Dyer. Craig Hughes says, pretty simple game once we got the first goal early on. Shame we couldn't have put a few more of those chances away to help with the goal difference. His man of the match was Jay Folston. Thought he was solid and grabbed himself a goal. He says, how did Musa get man of the match? He thought he was poor. There we go. Everyone's got their opinions.
Opinions.
JWL89 that says man of the match for him was Hayfield with an honourable mention and shout out to Jay Folston. And finally, Josh Coles, who says, I thought Musa deserved it. Good, we've got some more goals. Just gutted with some of the missed chances we had with the goal difference. Overall, not scoring more today isn't really what will cost us. It's the poor results against the bottom teams over the season that might see us miss out. So there we go. Plenty of views across Kelly's corner. Thank you, everyone, once again on short notice. Again, all I got to say, one more game to go. We're still in it.
I agree. Everyone's done themselves so proud. You know, this is the only episode as well we were 1-3-0 and be a bit sad. So it is what it is, isn't it? So there we are. Well done, everyone, and safe travels next week to Hemel.
Hertfordshire.
Yeah, one other track for me that next week.
Looking forward to the weekend. I got a weekender there, so I don't know how much.
I'm going there and back.
I don't know how much you'll stop me for tweeting, Dom, if you leave me for tweeting next week, but we'll see.
No, I'm not spending time. I will be on my phone, but on Sofa School, won't I? But yeah, that'll be one hell of a ride. So it'd be nice to see everyone there. And yeah, try and get as much sleep this week. May sleepless night. I don't sleep much anyway. That's always my problem. But I'll be even more struggling this week. I'm sure a lot of the Brink Consortium will be as well. So,
are we doing predictions, or is it too early?
We're not recording again before, so God, I haven't got my head around this. 3-0 Torquay, and I reckon Truro will win 3-0 as well, and we'll come second.
Boo! I will go. I will be optimistic, and I think it will be a repeat of the 2019 game where we win 4-1. And I think St Albans are going to batter Truro 6-0, but no. We'll win 4-1. I won't say any more on that.
Okay. Clive?
No idea. 2-1.
Rachel?
We've just got to go all out, haven't we? I've been reading a few things about let's take it steady. You know, we can't lose the game, but I'm thinking, do you know what? Let's just go gung ho. So 4-0 Torquay.
Yes, Rachel. Yes, love that.
And but I do think that Truro are going to be having a field day against St Albans. But you know, Truro can. You know, it's all about us. And if we get that second spot, then we'll be back at Playmore, won't we? So that's not such a bad thing. And there we go.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Finally, as proud as we are of Torquay. Listen, St Albans, right? You annoyed us in October. You got the wrath of me. Win my faith back in your club forever on Saturday. Don't get relegated. Don't let yourselves down. Get the win. All right? If you win and we mess up, then we'll call it evens. But help us out, okay? But no, seriously, Torquay, go and do what they need to do. Hope results go elsewhere. If not, we'll be in the playoffs, because why wouldn't we? Why would Torquay not do it by the title, eh? Come on now. So, overall, though, have a good week, Yellow Army. Thanks for all your support this season. Hopefully, next week will be the final match review we do. But, Yeah, we'll
a
see.
couple of sore heads maybe next week.
Yeah. Yeah, all those lemonades and tea on the way home for me would be massive. There we are. So thank you for watching, listening, and we'll see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays on side, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.